Ghost. These team comps are definitely interesting. Now, if Darius gets ahead, the game sort of ends.
I mean, isn't that the case a lot of the time when you're going up against a Darius?
Well, Hanwha Life does not have a lot of tools to try to hold him off. I mean, Ezreal, I guess if he does get the Iceborne Gauntlet, he can be a little bit sticky. Or he's able to be slippery, not sticky.
Yeah.
But that would be realistically the only hope. So we're about to head into the game here. We'll talk about what the team compositions want to do. Urgot, Olaf, Zoe, Ezreal, and Tae Kench. Tae going to be used primarily to protect the Zoe in the Ezreal. Zoe and Ezreal are going to try to poke down the enemy team composition. Olaf will act as a mid-range peeler and Urgot as an executioner with his ultimate after Zoe and Ezreal successfully poke down the enemy team. Very mid-rangey type of team composition that spikes around 3 and 4 items and then begins to tipper and fall off, while heavily relying on Zoe on the flip side. We have Darius, Lee Sin, Galio, Lucian, and Rakan. This wants to take your lunch money. At the first item, second item, Galio wants to be places. Lee Sin is coming out of Bird Box, all right?
Oh,
Lee Sin's trying to find the sanctuary right there.
How can he steal your lunch if he can't see?
Not quite
good question.
But this team composition is trying to accelerate the Darius and converting that with Galio into massive power plays. If Lucian gets ahead early off the back of Lee Sin dives coupled by the Darius, it's all going to be good.
Wow. Sandbox, huge cheer here in the studio. This team is very quickly bringing in the fans onto their side. It's no secret, guys. Winning teams bring fans because they win a lot and provide very entertaining games. And, well, all these new Challenger teams coming up. Even our PD was making a joke. He's like, yeah, you know, so Challengers Korea is the strongest league in the world. I'm like, well, you forgot about, you know, China and NA and EU that placed first. Well, I guess it was EU before NA.
Why'd you mention
first,
one
second,
wild
third.
card region?
You know, I just felt like I'd throw it in there. Yeah, throw it a bone. But, yeah, I mean, Challengers seem strong.
I don't like that Darius. You know what? Actually, I kind of do like it. He's very thin.
Take a look at this. Axe is in. They're going to be apprehended, but Summit's in a really awkward spot here. Has to flash. But here comes Tempt. They want to burst him down, but the rest is Sandbox trying to come in. Here's Key, by the way, from the bottom side. First blood goes to Olaf on the side of Hanwha Life.
That was really interesting. It actually felt like he could have flashed the wall, especially given that he had heal, and he could have gotten the flash out of Galio, but I think that at that point, he's thinking, okay, well then Lucian and Rakan can have a lot of kill pressure. Okay, well, NALCS is coming early.
Here we go. You're almost dead, my good sir. You're going to have to flash the wall as, they stopped the red buff. That's really good stuff right there.
Moojin on that Olaf. Okay, well. He's going to go straight to the golems. And that is actually going to be a very nice first clear because then he gets the first golem camp out of the way. The rubber band camp that's going to respawn from it is going to be super valuable, and it's going to let him path up to topside right around when Darius could ideally be looking for a kill. So the timing should add up for that. Olaf should transition this into a pure full clear, so not to fall behind. And then in doing so, he ends up in the bottom lane, able to counter or match gank Lee Sin if he would appear down there, but also to pressure relief against the Lucian and Rakan.
You mentioned, would it be Ghost or Teleport? The Teleport was taken here by Darius. Ends up being a really good choice to get him back to lane on time, at least, after the shenanigans we had early on in this game. So I suppose he's happy about that feel.
One of the things that could definitely be happy about so far is that, for the most part, Sandbox didn't fall as far behind as I feel they could have early on.
Yeah.
And this is a very fun lane. I'm sure I and everyone watching this is very excited right now.
Yes, I can feel it in my toes. It's enthralling. It's amazing.
So that Darius skin, the broad shoulders and how lean he is, it reminds me of Negan from The Walking Dead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
What?
anyway, we have a gank down in the bottom lane as Ghost might be in a little trouble, but no, nice knock up here by Joker. As now OnFleek might have something to say about that. He's going to turn on to Moojin, but he's just going to be devoured up. He also has his flash, so they're not going to follow up onto that gank as there you go, he gets out.
And so a little bit of a crisis averted right there. As Galio now returning into mid lane, OnFleek picks up that Scuttle Crab. And one of the things here is that OnFleek is looking to try to get permanent pressure and some sort of knowledge or intel on the Olaf, but in doing so, Moojin on that Olaf is actually getting ahead and clears, although Lee Sin does have the Golem camp, which is going to be respawning soon at the top.
Take a look at mid lane once again. Looks like the gold slightly in favor of the Zoe, who did pick up a assist on the kill a little bit early on. And Dev very respectful of the Zoe, I'd say, in the mid lane. Even under turret, he was, you know, giving up a couple of CS just to make sure he didn't get poked down too hard. Did go for the Dark Seal first. You don't see that all the time, but does mean he'll have a little bit less sustain compared to the corrupt pot start.
And Galio, Dove still has a reasonable amount of mana in the lane. He doesn't have that teleport available, so he does have to be a little bit cautious. Tempt, however, his pressure is going to have to come to an end quite soon as he's recalling now. So it's actually quite good for Sandbox and mid.
Yeah, both of them actually recalling. Just a couple items picked up here for both of them. Excited to see if Summit can pop off on the Darius. Bit of a unfortunate start to the game getting caught, but it was a really nice play there by Moojin and SoHwan to get them on the right track.
And, I mean, I'm waiting to see what is the purpose of the Darius pick. I know he had a rough start. He got to a lane. He didn't really get to dictate the pace of it straight from the get-go. But wondering what they really want to achieve with it here. Especially because we didn't see anything cheesy like the Ghost come out of it.
Well, it was last pick. Consider some of the other picks they could have gone for. You were thinking maybe the Scion. Vlad was available again if they really wanted to go into that kind of style. But we did have a lot of bans up on the top side too. The, you know, Lysandra, Kali, Camila can all kind of be flexed up there, but mainly Aatrox, Aurelia, Jace, Victor. Lots of targets up there, so maybe just running out of stuff, and Summit thought it was the right play. We hear a lot in interviews where players are like, yeah, I called for it and I wanted to do this, but also sometimes where the coach is like, no, I think you should play this. So curious to see if he does pick up the MVP, what was the idea behind it?
Definitely would be interested to hear about that. As right now at 7 minutes, I mean, the game is really not having anything happen, but that should change soon. Galio is level 6, has his ultimate available, although Lee Sin did just recall, so even though Lucian is returning down into the bottom lane, I don't think that we're going to see any big playmaking potential.
Olaf, Moojin in the enemy jungle, actually trying to get a scout onto OnFleek. He was just a little bit early, actually, as OnFleek seems to be heading towards the top side.
For a lane gank. Oh, I think he might get it.
Oh boy, SoHwan might be in a little bit of trouble here. Maze Rush was placed, and no, they're just not even going to go for it. Besides that, with the Ignite in the trade with the Unsealed Spellbook, they'll let it go. Down in the bottom lane, though, on to Key. Forced to use that heal here. Culling comes in, and even Key gets really low as once again Ghost trying to dominate a lane with this Lucian.
Absolutely eviscerated the health pool of Key on that Tahm Kench, and Lucian and friends are going to have priority again.
Oh, looking for a play here as Dove is like, oh, hello, Olaf. Has to flash that axe.
E-direction not quite right, but that's all right. Dove does have the teleport available and his ultimate. Ezreal doesn't have teleport, and now Lee Sin's pathing to the right-hand side of the map. This is almost perfect timing. If Galio teleported back into mid lane, got immediate priority, and Lee beeline straight down into bottom, They could have just ignored the turret and Galio ulted and said, good luck, have fun. But that's not going to be the case, so a little bit of a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah. Not thinking 7 steps ahead. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. It was the blue handoff timing for Zoe. So it could have definitely been abused, but nonetheless, they are going to convert the bottom priority into the capture of this Ocean Drake at 9 minutes, so not the worst capture. 9 minutes is still kind of early. It's not 10 like I mentioned in one of the previous games, but landing phase is still reasonably healthy.
Trying to go for the steal there was Sang-yoon. Actually, Arcane shifts forward to tell him to get out of here. But they were actually on vision the whole time. They put down a control ward, but it didn't actually spot the one ward from the side of Hanwha. As at the end of the day, they do pick up the Ocean Drake. Next one will be Mountain. We'll see if SANDBOX can get back on the Mountain Drake hype train that they were on in Game 1.
Mountain, an extremely important dragon for both team comps. Obviously, the Zoe and Ezreal want access to it to siege and delete turrets later on into the game, but SANDBOX also want it for Baron potential, just like we saw in game number 1. They could easily utilize it in a very similar fashion.
Tempt, definitely a player I am pretty excited about, as he was always quite good. He was one of the players for that BBQ lineup that couldn't find too much success, but it definitely felt like a lot of the times he was trying so hard to carry but couldn't quite do it. Definitely has the mechanics, and a lot of pros are quoted as saying that he is quite a good player, especially in solo queue. So, got to give him respect. He gets a chance to play here once again in Hanwha.
A lot of murmurs of him being a scrim god. Didn't always quite pan out or end up that way on stage.
Ends up having to flash as he gets cast or cursed by us. Just a nice gank by OnFleek. Good timing to make him get in there. Gotta be real careful up against the Lee Sin.
Now SANDBOX gonna be able to pick up this Scuttle Crab.
3-on-2. They don't have the Zoe because she had to back, so.
Interesting thing here would be that you know that you just cleared out vision around the Scuttle Crab, and that there's likely not anything around there. It would be very cute to see OnFleek try to cheese it after this. But a ward was placed down in front of it.
Not going to go for the 10-minute Rift Herald that we've been seeing a couple of times here tonight. Some of these teams are definitely using that strategy with the new turret plating that we do have in recent times here in League of Legends.
So far this game is very even. I mean, there's a 1.1k gold deficit, but for the most part, you look at the CS scores across the board, and everything for the most part is really even. I assume most of that gold is obviously inside of the kill. You have a plate in mid. Ezreal's Klepto.
Slowly but surely closing the gap, or expanding the gap, I suppose, in this case. And, yeah, not too much going on in this game. Not too much action outside of the 1 kill. We'll see if they can get on top of Summit, though, as Exhaust is here for SoHwan. The Stain is not going to miss. A little bit short on that one, but here's Moojin. Getting into position, lands the axe, and Summit has to flash the second one. Doesn't want to be kited for days, and at least he will survive as, okay, here's OnFleek. No flash on attempt. Taunt is going to go wide, and Dove didn't have his flash. So it doesn't matter. They do take him down in the end anyway as OnFleek. He's on point tonight.
Very excellent gank right there, able to pick that up. Didn't need Dove's flash, didn't even have it available, so really good tempo swing here in mid. Take a look at that replay, just goes right over, hits him with a kick. Tempt no way out, doesn't have flash available. Galio Q able to just put an end to that. And now with that tempo relief, we're still waiting to see Galio do something with his ultimate.
Ghost just piloting this Lucian too. I love when he gets onto this pick and just makes the lane his. Unfortunately, not really making any kind of big CS gap or gigantic lead down there, but did pick up his Blade of the Rune King and is looking to begin carrying. Also has taken out one plate on the bottom turret, so not half bad.
And now the Mountain Drake is coming up in 15 seconds or so. Ezreal does have his Iceborne Gauntlet, but you can see that Ghost maintaining permanent priority. Lee Sin darting straight down to that mountain. It's going to come at the cost of Hanwha getting the Rift Herald. Oh, well, they know about it now.
Okay, yeah, they have the vision, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for it. As you mentioned, OnFleek bottom side will just have to take the Mountain Drake. But, you know, this Rift Herald not going to be as valuable as some of the other ones we've seen as the turret plating is down. It was taken a little bit later than most of the ones we've been seeing nowadays. So at the end of the day, if it only gets a little charge down and they clear it and it doesn't take down a turret, I kind of favor that Mountain Drake. It's not half bad here for SANDBOX.
Really good Dragon. It is. It's going to help them do a play like we saw in game number 1, where if you don't have the Mountain and that extra damage to the Baron that it ends up giving you, Zoe and Ezreal, from the safety of their blue side jungle, they can just endlessly poke you while you're sitting inside of the river, and it becomes so difficult to break a blue side phalanx in that spot.
Fans are liking Sang-yoon here as he makes Joker pay for standing in the front. Now the Rakan doesn't have any health, so he needs to go home. Sad Rakan here.
Nice cues by Sang-yoon. And now finally they're pushing back at Ghost and Joker. Joker running back down into the bottom lane. Still waiting for some sort of play or setup with OnFleek and Dove on this Galio.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that you pick up the Galio, but then you never really try to force any plays with that pick. Instead, they're going to have to deal with this Rift Herald as it is in the mid lane. Looking to get a big charge here, and the Sleepy Trouble Bubble has landed, but Galio should be just fine. TP, kind of interesting here as Summon is going to get exhausted too. Will go down. Lucian, meanwhile, Ghost in the bottom lane takes out his own turret, so they trade 1 for 1 in the end.
The trade is not half bad. Zoe's turret is still extremely healthy, though. You can see ping is going down onto it right now. I think that they want to try to use this timing to demand that they stay and not recall and make use of the gold that they all just acquired. Really good that Ghost was able to get that bottom tier 1 turret, because the bottom tier 1 turret for SANDBOX is still so healthy. You're going to have to really go out of your way to get it. It's not a comfortable feeling for Hanwha.
It's going to take quite a while. And Ghost, with some of the freedom he had down on the bottom side during the Rift Herald play, has been able to finally build a gap in the CS, about 15 ahead after he clears this wave, so he's feeling good. Getting that Lucian fed, as is the way. Moojin looking for a play up in the top side, actually, up against Summit. He's been kind of picking on this Darius so far.
And it looks like Darius doesn't have any intention of walking up in the lane. Instead, he's just going to go over and he's going to eat his jungler's golems, which is completely fine. OnFleek's not going to be on that side of the map for the foreseeable future, and so he's actually doing him a favor. It looks like OnFleek, though, will go to... What was that? Defense? I think he's angry. I don't know.
Yeah. So, will we actually have the late redemption here for Olaf? Has the Forbidden Idol. Yesterday, with Tarzan, we were seeing the skip on the Cinderhulk into rushing the redemption to help out in the early skirmishes, but perhaps because the game has been so slow. Looking for Tempt now as well. You're going to be kicked out of the circle. He wants the kill big time now. He's going to flash away, but still goes down. Dove is going to be slept for the entire time. A real sad Galio, but at least the kill comes into effect.
That's a really big kill right now as well, because with Zoe missing, it demands that Sang-yoon and Key stick around in mid, and this is letting Ghost potentially get some pressure down on that bottom tier 2, and now with Ezreal and friends being drawn down there, they're now dragging the top laner to mid lane. And this is causing a chain effect where Summit is now getting a lot of value up in top lane. And it just looks like SANDBOX is starting to slowly dissect them across the map. Wow,
I'm a little bit sad that we jinxed. But, you know, in all seriousness, OnFleek is just having a really good game on the Lee Sin. Makes another play. Sneaks into the brush, perfectly out of vision. Avoids Moojin. He's a real ninja. It actually happens. Says, I don't need you, Galio. I'm going to kill him myself.
Not as clean as it could have been. Not on the same page there, but nonetheless ended up picking up the kill onto Zoe. And then Moojin and Key not able to really do anything with the follow-up there. So as we approach the 20-minute mark, despite being up a turret and up a kill, they're still down in gold, but they have the Mountain Drake available. So Baron is going to be a very real, legitimate threat around the 23, 24-minute mark.
Definitely will be. Sang-yoon has some potential to carry this one, as Zoe here, Tempt, unfortunately, hasn't had much of a good early game. I like the donation of the ward as well. Trying to just get all the good feels here for Ghost. Say, hey, here, have a control ward. Yeah, Sang-yoon has carried in the past, and this time he is on the Ezreal. He's very good at Ezreal. See his accuracy already in the laning phase with his Qs is quite spectacular.
Sang-yoon on the Ezreal is going to be one of the main hopes this game. Ezreal's going to have a lot of work cut out for him.
Stolen.
With Zoe especially being a little bit behind, and yep. Ghost now rotating into the middle lane. Main focus should be that mid-tier 1 turret.
See if they can actually break it down, because right now, Sang-yoon and Key are being the bodyguards of the turret. Saying, nope, not yet. Ghost, very scary now. He's got really great CS per minute, above 10, and also has a red buff that he did steal, so you're going to have a hard time actually taking out this Lucian.
No, I mean, I wouldn't be so surprised to just see the game enter into a little bit of a lull state where nothing happens for a short period of time. Zoe should be content to just sit back for a little while. Ezreal as well. We want to get the boots up next. Zoe wants to probably get her second core item. Olaf's still waiting on the redemption. There's just a lot going on for Hanwha Lives in terms of itemization. And so with no neutral on the map that realistically can be taken, there's no reason to try to secure vision or fight.
Can definitely see that Hanwha Life. They're trying to recreate a little bit of what they were trying to do in game number 1. Tried and failed, I should say. It was a pretty quick one, trying to scale on up. But this time around, especially with Ezreal, they can play it safe. Just try to back away and not take any fights. Culling comes in, again, just trying to harass them down and take out this tier 1 turret. That's the dream. Here goes OnFleek. He's actually going to go straight into an Olaf, which can be risky at times. Ghost himself, and uh-oh, Trouble Bubble is going to land a little bit short as... Not sure what's going on with Tempt today, but he's not having the best game here in game number 2.
Galio got a lot of pressure up in top lane. Looks like him and Rakan now are going to recall. And right now, I mean, Tempt, he's not getting any of this gold really allocated into him. And he can't really go anywhere else. I guess he's going to go into top lane now. He wants to pick up that wave that's crashing. But the unfortunate thing here is now this is going to cause 3 waves to go back into SANDBOX. And unless Galio just immediately runs top lane, that's not going to change, which means that Hanwha Life Esports is not getting access to a lane. And that's just so problematic when one of your primary main carries is not getting gold, they're behind, they're gimped, and it puts all the pressure onto Ezreal. Just look at Zoe, she can't go up top.
Yeah. That's why I was saying it's pretty much got to be the Sang-yoon show. He essentially has to pop off for Hanwha Life. Otherwise, can't see them having too much success. But again, he's done it before. So I'm confident that he will at least have a good game here on the Ezreal. He's doing pretty well so far. Again, Ghost definitely showing up himself and trying to say that he is the better AD carry in this series. Has proven that so far. Picked up MVP in game number 1.
Now they are posturing for vision around the Baron. This is that 24-minute mark I mentioned just a few moments ago. They have the items getting completed. They have that Mountain Drake. They're going to raise the mid-tier 1 turret. It's a really big vision victory.
On the right side was thinking about it, and Tempt, he used his real flash to get out of that as well. That little corner, the Wolves corner, you can get caught so many times, especially in solo queue. But Tempt here also getting caught out. SANDBOX now slowly gaining the lead. They've been behind for most of it in terms of gold. Compositions, of course, are going to play a big role in determining who does win the game, but at least SANDBOX can be happy to take the gold lead.
And we take a look at the gold lead, and it just for the first time went back into SANDBOX's favor on the backs of 2 turrets. Not even that big, and I mean that's just a testament to how much gold is being gained via the Tae Kench, the Ezreal Kleptomancy. Really, really good.
Nice steal there by Tae Kench. They get a bunch of vision around the Baron now, so they don't have to be as careful about SANDBOX starting that up with their Mountain. Although, I spoke too soon. As cast a curse again, SANDBOX just going to try to 2-man it here.
I love it. The Scuttle Crab is giving them false security.
Yeah.
And so they have no idea that this is happening. Now they're going to get an idea.
Yeah, now it's low enough they can just rotate on over, should be free.
That is way too late. Doesn't even matter. And now with the Baron, it is so difficult. If you are a primarily a poke-based comp, which Hanwha Life is with the Zoe and the Ezreal, the worst thing in the world is trying to defend against Baron sieges.
It's very, very true. And, man, SANDBOX once again impressing tonight. OnFleek, early game lead Shin, making those big ganks count and taking Zoe out of the game for quite a while, and then 2-manning the Baron. Just that Alpha Brain meme coming back once again.
Just look at the level difference between champions. Lee Sin 3-level lead, 2-level gap in mid lane, 1 level in AD carry. Although I guess Key has a level lead over Joker, but I guess that, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. And now to accompany the Baron buff is double Ocean Drake. This siege is going to be never ending. Yeah.
They're having a fun time. I say that, but, you know, there only has been 3 kills in the game. Feels like 8.1 was all over again. Just in this game, though. Recent meta has been a lot faster. Summit is looking for a guy who is 4 levels below him. It doesn't matter if he can run away because he's just going to get stomped by Summit, who puts his axe to the head of Moojin and says, "Get out of here."
I didn't think that R was going to kill, but
he's a big boy.
He just popped. Oh, man.
That's what happens when you're 4 levels above and you have just been farming the entire game.
I mean, I don't think Glenn knew that was coming either, but regardless now, push is happening in top and mid. And you can just see Hanwha's just forced to stand by and watch. Their champions aren't equipped to deal with wave clear. They can't engage into the enemy team composition because they're supposed to whittle you down. They're supposed to poke you, and that doesn't matter when you have 2 Ocean Drakes and a Baron buff.
Well, they did get the sleep on a Joker, so he's going to die. You see Moojin trying to get the steal there with the redemption. But here we go, big fight, trying to force the 5v3. But the stopwatch comes in for Summit, and they're going to turn it around. The dunk is denied by the Devour. Nice little timing there by that Tae Kench. Keeping him alive, and now Dove getting kited once again. Nice paddle start on the backside, and now SANDBOX decide we have to go home. We're not going to push the envelope here. Actually, both inhibitors are still alive.
Both inhibs are still alive, and this is a great breathing opportunity for Hanwha Life. This is a perfect opportunity to catch back up in experience. SANDBOX is losing all the waves because of the super minions. We'll take a look at this one more time. Joker That's a really impressive. All right. I mean, that needs to be turned into a statue.
Yeah.
And he ends up going down, and then because of this, they're able to take a 5 versus 4. Summit gets caught right in the middle. Darius ultimate ends up being denied. OnFleek goes in, and Galio, not wanting to push the issue any further, ends up backing up, and Sang-yoon also decides that he doesn't want to push it any further.
I just love that key. He waits for the animation to start for Summit's ult, and then he goes for the Devour, totally denies it. Could have turned into a very one-sided fight if the Darius got going, and now he's got a Guardian Angel, and he doesn't really seem to care about anything. Yong-jin comes in, and a pause comes in too, as just a little gift to all of us who are watching. We'll have to see what the problem is. Looks like it is Ghost's computer. Maybe another mouse or client issue. We'll have to wait and see.
You know what's an excellent gift for a friend?
Yeah, what's that?
Coin Emperor Tae Hoon skin.
Oh, there you go. Why isn't he using it in this game, though?
I don't think it's on this patch.
Oh, is it not?
No, I don't think so.
Is it the next one?
I think it's the next one.
Okay.
That's the best patch, by the way.
Why? Because of the skin?
Yeah.
I see. I don't play Tae Hoon, so I know you do, but...
Heathen. All right,
you know.
So Ghost, it is his PC.
Seemed like it froze, so...
And this was actually looking like it was going to be the end game push.
Yeah.
So really unfortunate timing right here.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, Sandbox, they're going to be a little bit unhappy that they couldn't just end the game right now, as everybody's coming on in and trying to fix the computer. Count the refs, guys. We got 7 of them. Just riot things.
7 referees.
Although the guy with the long sleeve shirt doesn't. Well, I guess they're all wearing long sleeve shirts. The gray shirt, he is. He doesn't look like a ref. He seems like he's one step above. Not sure. This guy came for the first time to see Cloud Templar, and also his friend on the right. His first time coming on down.
Nice Hanwha Life jersey there.
Yeah. They are probably Hanwha Life employees. Actually,
really?
Hanwha Life does have a lot of employees that do come down and watch the games and support the team.
That's always nice to know.
Yeah, it's pretty good. More fan signs would be.
Did you
enjoyed.
ever like a sandbox as a kid?
Yeah, I used to like it a lot.
I never had one. Any playground I ever went to.
Really?
Yeah, it was so weird.
It didn't have any sand?
There was just no sandboxes.
You're from
I'm from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
From the Northeast.
Aren't there like a lot of beaches and sand and that kind of thing? You're on the coast.
Yeah, I mean there's beaches. I mean, yeah, there's beaches. That's not a sandbox.
Oh. This is like a big sandbox. I guess there's no box. It's
no box.
Sand ocean.
Yes.
As Sandbox want to make their own sand ocean of the LCK. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well. And apparently the game is going to be resumed soon.
Yeah. As Ghost seems enthralled by the screen. I'm sure he's going to get back in. Probably just a quick restart and you get right back in. Okay, looks like we're just about ready to hop back in. 1 second, there you go. As once again, Joker gets hit by that, and oh boy, Zoe is beginning to do damage. You got to be real careful about that. You don't want to lose your AP burst mid Galio, as he is nowadays, to a bunch of Zoe damage. Oh god, Joker.
He's trying to become a model in his next life.
3rd time's the charm.
And right now, Mountain and Baron both coming up in just under 2 minutes each. Ooh. Maybe Sandbox doesn't want to push the issue. They might just want to get to the Baron. And I'll tell you what, if Hanwha Life can hold on for another 5-6 minutes, Ezreal complete that next core item, Zoe complete the next item, Olaf complete the next item, get that Knight's Vow, get the Solari's Locket on Thomas Kench, then they have a real actual possibility of turning this game around, because if SANDBOX's next Baron is neutralized, or if Hanwha gets it, SANDBOX is actually just behind. The only reason they're ahead right now is because they're in the driver's seat. They're going to have first action to Baron and Mountain, and we're assuming that unless something goes catastrophically wrong, they should get it.
Definitely feels that way right now. Red buff onto Sang-yoon. Will have it for the Baron fight, if there is one, but it looks like our dragon timer has stopped. As
He doesn't want to come up.
okay, there it is.
Now.
24 seconds. But now we don't know it's Mountain Drake.
Oh, maybe the dragon was
Maybe
wrong.
the dragon changed.
Yeah, maybe it decided that it didn't want to be a mountain.
Yeah.
Maybe it just wanted. That's not even possible though, because there's already been 3 unique drakes.
Huh.
I think it's lying to us.
Maybe.
I'm being lied to right now.
It's you know, it's something we do for all the new casters here. Looking to push now, actually, is SANDBOX. As 5. They were doing the 4-1 here, but no, just going to back off. Maybe thinking about that Mountain. There is vision on it now. Could try to get some kind of steal, but no ultimate here for Ezreal means probably not going to go for it.
I like what they're doing. They're getting the Mountain first, and now with double Mountain Drake, and at this stage of the game, you can easily just have Lucian and Lee Sin light up the Baron.
Yeah.
Just like what we saw before, except this time it doesn't even have to be a sneak. You can let them blue trinket you, don't even kill them, just watch as the Baron dies. Lee and Lucian can easily light that up.
Yeah. Just give them a little Baron show, you know. Get some entertainment going for them. As double Guardian Angel is also going to be really hard to break through in general. You're going to have to kill just about 6 people in total if 2 of them come back with half health. As they're going to check it and deny OnFleek is back.
Damage.
Yeah. He has that Seraph's completed, so now the ult is just chunking people for a lot.
And fortunately for OnFleek, able to just go back to full HP. Has the double Ocean, use the Smite as well. And the scary thing here is still the level gap between everyone. That's not just levels, it's skill points and base HP.
Here comes Summit going straight at them and trying to go for the flank. Here's Rakan into the back line, gets 2 of them, but insta-cleanse for both of them, gets them to safety. As now Urgot is going to be devoured, going in for the kill. He's going to get it onto Moojin. And now we're playing on opposite sides of the rift as Ghost is on the chase. Big damage from him. And the Zoe, but there's the taunt. Comes out a Dove as he is able to capitalize on that kill. Summit actually has his Q totally dodged, but you can't dodge that ultimate as everybody is going to be going down here. Sang-yoon, the only one left alive, but not anymore. Goes down, clean ace as SANDBOX Gaming looking to end the game.
Yeah, and they're just choosing so decisive. They cast the teleport on that top minion wave, and they're going to definitely be able to end the game. 2 Mountain Drakes, all the other team members barreling down mid. This is definitely going to be the end.
Yeah. That's going to do it. I thought this was going to be a bit closer of a series. I mean, Hanwha Life, they nearly took a game off of Griffin, but this says a lot about SANDBOX that they're able to show up today, defeat 2 different rosters in relatively easy fashion, too. They made it look really, really easy on the Rift tonight. The 2-0 victory, well-deserved, going to SANDBOX, who are now 4-0 in series here in the LCK. Another big team from Challenger to look out for.
Yeah, and it's really just hyping up when they collide with the current kings of LCK. We'll see what ends up happening in that match. And it's very interesting that both games tonight sort of panned out the same way. Very explosive team fight, immediately resulting in the end of the game, basically.
Yeah.
Although you could argue that they failed to get the 2 inhibitors, and then there was a little bit of posturing, and it almost looked like Hanwha Life was going to be able to recover. But again, all the eggs were in the Sang-yoon basket, and it couldn't quite pull through.
Yeah, I was kind of sad for Tempt. I feel like you were mentioning it before. When you come in, you're subbed in on match point. All that pressure is there on top of you, and he just got handled by